compact reception. Yes, madam. Yes, it is on sale today.
Hey!
That's right, thank you.
Haven't seen Mrs. Gray, have you?
No, I haven't.
Oh, I knew we'd have trouble taking on a beginner. No idea of a deadline. Did you see her? Tell her I want her.
Yes, Mr. Saunders. Good morning. Can I help you?
I have an appointment with Miss Minster at 2 o'clock. Kathleen Willoughby.
Oh, yes, Miss Willoughby. Well, I'm afraid Miss Minster hasn't come back from lunch yet.
I'm a bit early, I'm afraid.
Well, would you mind waiting? I'm sure she won't be long. Have you seen our first issue?
Thank you.
Oh, Mrs. Gray, Mr. Saunders was looking for you. He said it was urgent.
Yes, thank you.
I'll tell Miss Minster's secretary you're here.
They said there'd be a pile of mail from your office, so I brought 2 trays.
You wait until next week, maybe. It hasn't started rolling yet.
Yeah, did you go along to the studio today to see Ian Carmichael?
Oh, I'm too busy to bother about him. Oh, all right, Terry, see you. Your daughter wasn't on the train then?
No. I was sure she would be.
Well, did you let the school know?
Oh, yes, I telephoned from the station. The headmistress was shattered. She'd questioned the other girls in the form, and they all thought Rosemary was coming to London. They'd even helped with the fare. She'd obviously been planning this. They've notified the police.
Oh, do sit down, Mrs. Gray. Can I get you a cup of tea or something?
No, I'll be all right, thank you, dear. Just this feeling of not being able to do anything. Not knowing where she is.
Oh, I'm sure she's all right. Well, girls of 15 can look after themselves these days.
Certainly think they can.
Well, do you know why she's run away? Was she unhappy at school?
She's always been perfectly happy up till now, but you see, she's stage-struck, and headmistress thinks she's come to try her luck in London.
Oh, dear. Still, she hasn't run away because of a row, so she's bound to let you know where she is.
I hope so. Problems won't be over even then. The big question will be what to do with her.
Ah, there you are, Mrs. Gray. I left a message for you to phone me as soon as you got back to the office.
Yes, that was my fault, Mr. Saunders. I didn't want to disturb Mrs. Gray. She's just finishing off her column. I'll be typing it out in a moment.
I'd like to know when I'm going to have my copy.
Please don't disturb her. She's concentrating. Couldn't you just wait until she's finished?
I suppose so. But don't forget I've got a deadline on this page, will you? Concentrating. She'll be asking for a soundproof office next.
He's been in here several times to see if the copy was ready. I told him we'd let him have it as soon as it was done.
Thank you for coming up, Sally. But we'll have to tell him sooner or later that I can't do the column, and it might just as well be sooner.
Yes, but why can't you do it? Oh, I know you're feeling sick with worry at the moment, but, well, perhaps it would take your mind off things if you tried to write.
I can't just sit here and make up a problem to answer.
Well, couldn't you write about a stage-struck daughter who runs away from school? But it's a silly idea.
I wonder. Goodness knows plenty of mothers must have the same problem.
Well, shall we try anyhow? Look, you tell me what you're going to say to Rosemary, and I'll take the notes. We can sort it out afterwards. You do know what you're going to say to her, don't you?
Yes, I think so.
Watch out now, they're still a wee bit wet.
Oh, yes.
Hey, that's the double that Helen asked for.
Yes, but I don't think we should be using that.
Oh, it's a very good one of you.
Possible.
They're very good, Alex. You're right. The boy's got talent.
This is not bad. Look, we could bleed this one off the left-hand page, huh?
Yes, I like that. And then we can use some of these others on page 10. Good. Now, what I really want to talk to you about is this double spread on jewellery. Who are you going from that?
Well, I thought, Alex, you're free, weren't you, Alex?
Yeah, next week.
Yes, I want it in colour. Does that present any difficulties?
No, we can use different colour backings. Mind you, lighting's always a bit tricky with jewellery. What sort of stuff is it? You've been raiding the Tower of London?
No, it's costume jewellery.
Oh, no, I was hoping.
Don't be so snooty. It really is lovely stuff. I'd have you know that British costume jewellery is the envy of the rest of Europe. All the women from Paris come over to buy it.
All right, you've convinced me. Anyway, thank heavens it isn't real ice. I hate to think of young Alec here working under the eyes of 3 security cops and an armed guard.
What time is the stuff coming over?
Oh, very early, I'm afraid, Alex.
What do you mean?
Richard Lowe?
Where do you see, sir?
Yes, she's here. Joanne, Maggie.
Oh. Hello. Oh, no, don't bother, dear. No, I'll call him to see him on my way back. Bye. Mark wants to see me. I'd better go. You can get all the details from Maggie about the jewellery. She knows all the arrangements.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
You must watch out for reflections, Alec. It can be murder with jewellery if you're not used to it. Diamonds are not a photographer's best friend.
Oh, hello, Mark. Maggie said you wanted to see me.
Oh, I didn't mean to drag you away.
Oh, that's all right. Oh, you've got a better view from your window, you know. You've got more sky than I've got.
Well, I wanted to talk to you about the new serial.
Oh, yes, of course. I wasn't too critical the other day, was I?
No, it's not that.
The first one was very good. Maybe a bit sensationalist for some taste, perhaps. You better watch that in future.
I didn't write the thing personally, you know.
All right, Mark. Anyway, you want to talk about it?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't. Look, Joanne, at the editorial planning, I probably seemed rather vague about the new serial.
Yes, the follow-up. You haven't decided which of those two you want to run.
Oh, yes, I've decided. Neither of them.
What?
I've rejected them both.
Well, what
Look, the Monte Carlo one was even more sensational than this one. You'd have hated it. The other was so conventional it nearly sent me to sleep.
Well, they're both by good authors, both in the best-selling list before now.
Yes, I've no doubt the novels will sell splendidly when they come out, but we want fiction that's right for compact.
Of course. And you honestly don't think...
I couldn't recommend either of them. I'm sorry.
Well, what do you propose to do? We need a new serial urgently. Is there any advance news from the agents?
Oh, there's a story by this Danish chap in Mallorca, or what's his name? That won't be ready for another 2 months at least. Look, can't we run short stories as a filler?
No. The weekly cliffhanger is terribly important for circulation figures. No, there is just one other alternative. Jimmy was sent a manuscript of a novel by a woman explorer. She and her husband spent 2 years in South America digging up the Aztec remains, and she somehow managed to have a baby en route and bring it up with the Indian children. Jimmy's raving about it. He never had a chance to use it before.
What do you mean, it's a true story? Well, they could down all right, documentary.
It's all we're left with, isn't it? As a matter of fact, I think it might go like a bomb. I'll go and tell Jimmy to get on with it. But, Mark, remember, it is only a stopgap. You'd better go on looking for that serial, hadn't you?
Oh, drop the log. Can I come in? My gorgeous sight. I was just coming along to get a cup. My good deed for the month. If I put a saucer on Mrs. Gray's cup. Oh, she's gone out. She'll have to drink too. Hey, what do you think? Ted Willis rang up. Ted Willis? Do you mean the Dixon of Dock Green man? Sugar? Only one. Yes, he writes for Dixon. He does proper plays for the West End as well. And films. And now he's going to tell me. He's going to do a series for us, and I suppose you're working for him. No, but it's a jolly good idea. You ought to tell Mr. Vickers about it. Thank you. Well, what does Ted Willis want, then? Well, Mrs. Gray's daughter turned up at his office. Good heavens, why? Well, apparently, he gave away the prizes at the end-of-term concert at her school and said he thought Rosemary had a great future on the stage. And she took him at his word. Yes, silly little idiot. Of course, now Mrs. Gray's gone chasing off to meet them. They're in the coffee bar across the road.
Oh, not at all. I'm afraid you're the one who's had all the worry.
I can't think why you got in such a stew, Molly. You know I can take care of myself. I'm over 15.
Oh, I suppose it's partly my fault. I shall have to be a lot more careful what I say at these school prize givings in future.
Then you don't think I'm any good after all?
Well, let me put it this way. I think you're a good amateur, but you've got a long way to go before you're a professional. I think one of the first things you've got to get is a decent education.
That's exactly what I say, Mr. Willis. I've been trying to impress on Rosemary that she'll have to learn all the things in the school curriculum that'll really be of value to her afterwards. Things like English and French and lots of other things that'll matter to her.
Do you mind if I tell you something quite frankly? I think you behave like a clot. You're 15, aren't you?
Yes.
And you want to go on the stage?
Yes.
And so, what did you expect to achieve by running away to London? Did you think somebody was suddenly going to discover you and put you on the screen or put you on the stage? Now, if you really want to take up the career of an actor, it's got to be done as professionally as anything else. If you wanted to be a doctor, you'd have to study for 5 or 7 years, wouldn't you? If you want to be an actor, you've got to do the same thing. When you're 16, 17, 18, if you're serious about it, your mother will send you to a drama academy, and you'll learn the trade. Prior to that, you've got to get your ordinary background of education. And you've just chucked it all away by running away. So that's stupid.
I don't know how we're going to persuade our headmistress to take her back, but I do so hope that we're going to be able to.
Well, I can have a word. I can perhaps do something about it, have a word with her on the phone, because, you know, I did go out and do this prize giving, and she owes me a favor. So I think we might better do something about that. But, I'm a bit worried, you know, about your general attitude. I mean, you don't look really as if you believe us now.
I don't think she quite appreciates how much hard work she's going to put into it, Mr. Willis. You see, she sees all the glamorous side of it, naturally, as we all do.
Yeah.
But I'm quite sure that there's a lot more hard work that we know nothing about that goes on behind the scenes.
Do you know what hours you'd have to do, for example, if you got a job in a rep? Well, if you went to her, I know the people at Bromley Rep very well, for example. They would give you a job as an ASM. That's a dog's body. You'd have to make the tea, sweep the dressing room, sweep the stage, be shouted at and bawled at by everybody. And you'd have to do a 12-hour day. And it'd be a long, long time before they even let you walk across the stage carrying a tray. And when the great day came when you said, anyone for tennis? Or at least 3 years. Now, come on, smile, then.
There you go. Sorry I'm a bit late. Sunday roll is out of bread, and it's hard to find it at this time of the night.
What are you going to have?
That's all right. I'll get it. Latte, please. There it is.
Oh, very nice. You do your own cooking?
I have to.
Oh, give me the bachelor life. Eat what you like, when you like. All the pretty girls after you.
Yes, it can also be rather monotonous. Often wish I could get back to find a nice meal on the table.
And the wife waiting for you with a rolling pin. Because you're half an hour late, the chops are overcooked, the kids won't go to sleep without saying good night, your breath smells of drink, and who have you been with? Oh, Joe, you better make that 2 more while you're at it.
Oh, excuse me, sir, but the governor said could he have a word with you?
Some other time, Joe. Tell him we're talking business, will you?
Oh, well, he said it was urgent, so I wouldn't keep you a minute.
Well, look, I can't pay you this week, Joe, but tell him next week for sure, eh?
Ah, yes, sir, but you have rather a lot on the slate, and he said I wasn't to sell.
I'll get this round.
Thank you, sir. But just a little on the count it helps, and I could tell him it's settled up next week.
Joe, it's no good. Look, it's hopeless. Mark, you couldn't lend me a couple of quid, I suppose, could you?
I didn't go to the bank either, you know, but, won't be all right?
Thanks a lot. Let you have it Monday. There you are, Joe. And you tell the governor if he keeps on needling his best customers like this, he'll soon be feeling the draft.
Yes, sir, thank you. It's not myself, you understand.
That's all right. Sorry about that, Mark. Of course, I have been chalking up rather a lot since we started, but it's been a hell of a month. Cheers.
Cheers.
And I've had all the school bills to pay as well.
I don't know how you do it.
I don't most of the time, that's the problem. You wait till you have kids. Talk about the patter of tiny feet. The clatter of pound, shillings and pence from the moment they arrive. You just wait and see.
I find it quite hard enough to make ends meet as it is, thank you.
You too? Yes, I must say it's very strange indeed. Of course, I mean, on most cases, I make a bit on the side, but what with getting the magazine off the floor, hasn't been time.
Oh, I know. I'm only getting about 3 hours sleep a night as it is.
You too? Yeah, I heard you had trouble over the cereal. You know, you're too critical. There's still some good stuff about it.
Well, I suppose there must be.
1 scotch, 1 light ale.
I must knock that off quick. Can't miss the next train.
Well, here's to the weekend. Perhaps it'll give me time to discover a master.
Maybe. But don't take your problems home with you. That's the real secret.
How many pieces of toast do you want, darling? 1 or 2?
1. No, 2. How do you want to drink? Single or double?
Oh, big one, please.
Right.
Perfect timing.
Salut.
Salut. What was that toast the fisherman taught us in the Torremolinos? Health, wealth, and love, and time to enjoy them all.
Amor, pesetas, e tiempo para gastar. Salut.
Salut. Time. Oh, thank heaven for the man who invented weekends.
They're worth waiting for. What sort of day?
Oh, the usual. Bits of it were fun, and bits of it were torture. Yours?
So.
Funny, you know, I thought that once Compact was actually published, things would be different. We'd feel as if we were really sort of in gear instead of just revving up. Oh, it's a bit disappointing to find life is exactly the same as it has been for the past 3 months.
How's the second issue coming along? Good as the first?
Oh, I hope so. Oh. It's out of our hands now. It's gone to press. I'm already having troubles and worries about Easter.
Oh, so am I. Did I tell you about the Easter bargain cruise?
No, where to?
Med, Malta, Sicily, Greek islands. 2 golden weeks. Give yourself an Easter bonus.
Oh, marvellous. When are we going? Managing director's perk.
No. Nice.
Cruelty to wives. Why not?
Would you take 2 weeks off at Easter?
No.
That's why not.
No, darling. I'm sorry. Here's to October. I am determined that come hell or high water, we are going to get to Bermuda in October. It's a promise.
Fine. You just say the word. Come here.
I can't wait to get you to the islands. All those tropical flowers. White surf on pink sands. And at night, the stars are twice as big as they are here. You feel nearer the sky.
Oh, the soup!
Oh, darling, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's perfectly all right.
All right.
The soup boiling, don't put the toast down.
This is the best 60s album.
Lily, how are you on this bright and beautiful morning?
Oh, as well as can be expected, to Mr. Lowe.
As well as can be. That doesn't sound too good. What's the matter, Black Monday?
Oh, no, it's just that, well, a trouble shared, the trouble on everybody's plate. Now, I don't want to burden you with my, what's it?
Well, it's good of you to look at
Mind
that.
you, Mr. Lowe.
Now, what is it, Lily? Is your mother poorly again?
Oh, no. She goes on the same as usual, you know, day after day and after night as well, most often. But she never complains, I will say that for her. And it's wonderful, really, when you think that all she sees of the world through that little window of hers. Apart from what she has no radio set, that is. No, you see, Mr. Lowe,
And
the
you,
real
Lily? You must be a great comfort to her. Are you on your way to the studio?
Oh, in good time. I've got to get right round. This what's it
Well,
first.
hurry up, there's love. We're all parched.
Crystals and pearls, diamante, imitation jade, something that looks like a pomegranate, piece of coal, topaz, dark topaz. Hello.
Alec, how
Hello.
are you getting on?
I'm just about ready to begin, if it's okay with you.
Oh, yes, very nice. I like your idea of using natural stones as backgrounds.
You don't think the piece of coal against the dark velvet's too much, too dense?
No. Diamonds against black. I like it. And anyway, the textures are different enough to be interesting.
Yeah.
Come in.
Coffee up, come and get
Oh,
it.
Lily, hold everything.
I'm glad to see you. I had my breakfast at 6 o'clock this morning.
I should think it's a change for you to be even conscious at that hour. Come over here, Lily. Have a look at these. It'll cheer you up. Bangles, beads, and baubles. Care to take home a few samples?
Oh, well, not really. I'm not one for decorating myself up, you know. Look, dear, if you hurry up with that, I'll try and squeeze you out a second cup.
Sheer favouritism. Now I know why it's always down to the dregs by the time it reaches my office. Second cups, indeed.
Lily's my darling. You take care of me, don't you, Lily?
More than anybody does for me.
Ah, don't be that way.
Now come here, Lily. What is it? Tell us your troubles.
Well, it was the shock, you see. Talk about nervous palpitations. Do you know that by the time I got indoors, I was trembling so much I could hardly hold my cocoa cup. And I didn't sleep, not all night long. I just lay there listening for those awful footsteps.
Footsteps? You mean you had a burglar?
Well, no. Well, what I mean is I don't know if he was a burglar or not because he never actually broke in. But I mean, there I was, all defenceless.
Yeah, Lily, what actually happened?
Well, you see, there was this man.
Well, then he suggested that we went to his flat and made omelets. Well, as if I'd fall for that. We're having none of that lark, I told him. You asked me out for a meal, and we're going out for a meal. So he took me to a very classy place in Chelsea, and it cost him a bomb. Sally, you are awful. Well, he could afford it. Besides, I didn't like his attitude. Oh, you've chucked him, then? Well, of course not. But I thought you said, oh, Ruth. Oh, you must get around a bit more. I can't very well. Well, why not? Well, I haven't anyone to go with. Oh, you must have some boyfriends. Well, I know one or two people. Well, not like you, Sally. Oh, what exactly do you mean by that? Oh, you know. Everybody likes you. You get on with everyone. I'm too shy, I suppose. Yes, but men like that. And besides, you're jolly attractive. I bet there are men in this office that would give their ears to go out with you. You know, I could go for Richard Lowe myself. There's something sort of unattainable about him. Kind of challenge. Oh, there must be somebody you like. Well, I suppose Alec Gordon. Alec? He's so friendly and funny. Oh, I know he's a bit of a flirt. A bit of a flirt? He's a real Don Juan. What's the matter? Oh, nothing. Oh, nothing to do with going out or anything like that. Have you had a row at home? Oh, no. Look, I don't mind you knowing, Sally, as long as you don't spread it round the office. I sent some stories to Mr. Vickers. Honestly? It was ages ago when I first started work here, but he hasn't said anything. Well, at least he hasn't thrown them straight back into your face. I think it looks jolly hopeful, do you? I don't know what to think. It's driving me mad. Well, why didn't you ask him about them? He can't eat you.
Well, it was his eyes I noticed first, you see. Set very close together they was. And my mum says never trust a man whose eyebrows meet in the middle, and my word, she was right. Well, there he sat opposite me in the train, just staring and staring. Well, I mean, what would you have done?
I don't know, Ling.
You see, the thing was, it wasn't as though there was anyone else in the carriage, and he just sat there. Well, I mean, there I was, and I suddenly looked up and I went all cold because there it was, my station, and I had to get out and I had to walk right past him. Well, I picked up my bag, and imagine how I felt when I turned round and saw he was going out too, and he followed me all the way up to the ticket collector.
Well, poor chap was probably in a hurry to get out.
No, he wasn't. He was following me, like I said, because when I got to the entrance, I turned round and there he was again.
Yes. Well, no harm came to you, Lily. You probably imagined the whole thing. Now, if you'll excuse me, I want to make a telephone call.
Oh, sorry, I'm sure, Mr. Vickers. I thought you'd be interested. Imagine it. Not the imaginative type.
Yep, that's very good. I like it. Good, strong stuff, just what we need.
Thank you, Mr. Saunders.
Now, when can I have the next lot?
Already? But I thought...
And you thought Compact was going to be topical and copy needn't come in until the last moment. Well, let me tell you, Mrs. Gray, I'm a features editor, not a news editor.
Yes, of course.
I can keep some pages open each week, but there's no reason why yours should be included. So I'd like your copy at least 3 weeks ahead.
I see. Well, I'd better try and let you have some tomorrow.
Come in.
Morning.
Oh, thank you. Would you bring Mrs. Gray's copy in, too?
Just as you wish. Thank you, Sir
Lily, you look quite pale.
And if I do, there's no wonder, is there? Nobody round here would concern themselves if I was to fake right clean off under their noses.
They most certainly would. The whole place would grind to a standstill without you, and well, you know it.
Well, that's not what Mr. Vickers thinks, anyhow.
Now, what's he been saying to upset you, eh? You come inside, sit down, and tell us all about it. We can't have you wandering around shaking like this. Have a cigarette. They do help to settle the nerves sometimes, you know.
Oh, well, it was the shock, you see. And then when Mr. Vickers said I'd been and imagined
Well,
it...
I shouldn't worry about what he says at the moment, you know. He's a bit worried. He's behind time with his work.
Well, there was no necessity for him to be offhand like that, now was there?
Well, of course there wasn't, and he'll be very sorry when he realized. But what gave you a shock, Lily?
A man. He followed me all the way home last night.
Good heavens. Did he say anything?
Oh, well, no, he didn't get near enough. I hurried, you see. By the time I got to my street, I was actually running. All the time I could hear those footsteps pounding after me.
Poor Lily, you must have been scared stiff.
Oh, I was. By the time I got my key in the lock, I could hardly catch my breath.
Did he try to get in?
Oh, well, no, I bolted the door, you see, but I stayed behind it at the letterbox listening, and I'm sure I could hear his heavy breathing. Oh, you don't know what it was like.
I can imagine. I don't suppose you slept your wink all night.
Well, that's what I was saying. Well, I don't know what I'm doing sitting here like this. This won't get the job jobbed, will it? I should be getting my card.
Nonsense. Now, just you remember, Lily, if you don't feel too good, you let me know and I'll make sure you're taken straight home.
Oh, thanks ever so, Mr. Saunders, but, well, it'll take more than this to take my mind off the job. Oh, thanks ever so. I'll come back for the cups later. I don't know what everybody will think will be happening to me.
Poor old Lily.
Must have shaken her a lot.
Oh, I shouldn't think so. When you get to know her a bit better, you'll realize that this is quite a regular occurrence.
But you were so understanding.
Does that surprise you so much?
Oh, no, of course not.
The really surprising one is old Mark, you know, biting the girl's head off like that. It's not like him at all.
Yes, but can't you get her to... I see. All right, I'll try to get over there tonight. Yes, I'll do my best. Bye. Come in.
Excuse me, Mr. Vickers. Could I have a word with you, please?
Yes?
I'm Ruth Mundy. I work in the typing pool.
Oh, yes, of course. I'm sorry. I thought I knew your face.
I was just wondering about the stories, I mean.
What stories?
Well, I sent you some stories 6 weeks ago. I was wondering what you thought of them.
You did what?
I sent you some stories.
Yes, you and about 2,000 others. Well-knowns, unknowns, are just plain nothings. And there they are. Look.
Well, you haven't read them, then?
No, I have not. There are only 24 hours in a day, you know, and I need more than that if I'm going to wade through every romantic daydream from Land's End to John O'Groats.
Oh, well,
You'll just have to take your turn with the rest. Or you can take them back with you if you'd rather, if you can find them among that lot.
Oh, no, please. I don't mind waiting. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Vickers. Really, I am.
Mark Vickers here.
These are the ones that might be of some use to the column. And this pile are all the ones on your marriage guidance article. Well, these are the queries on particular problems, and the rest just need routine acknowledgement.
Well done. Do you think it'll keep on at this rate?
Oh, it'll get worse. We'll be needing our own post office once the real rush starts.
Talking of rushing, I must watch the time. Rosemary's coming in at 4. I've got to put her on a train.
Oh, she's going back to school.
Yes, thank goodness she is. Mr. Willis talked her into it.
Oh, good.
Well, let's make a start on these.
Right.
Look, I've got a couple of seats for tomorrow night, Kay.
I don't remember giving you permission to use my Christian name.
Don't you ever let your hair down?
Certainly not in office hours. Anyway, I'm busy tonight.
Look, why don't you just make an excuse and come out with me? You never know, you might even enjoy it.
Can I help you?
Oh, it's all right, thank you. I'm meeting Mrs. Gray. She said to wait here and she'd come out.
Oh, I see. Well, here are some magazines if you'd like to sit over there and read them.
Thank you.
Look, seriously, though.
Seriously, Mr. Gordon, I would be obliged if you would stop annoying me while I'm working. Otherwise, I shall have to complain.
Okay, have you seen Verity Lane?
No, not since lunchtime.
Well, don't let her leave this building without seeing me. I don't know where she's got to.
Maybe she's trying to keep out your way.
I shouldn't be surprised after the muck she left on my desk. I don't know what that girl thinks she's playing at sometimes.
Quite like her stuff.
Oh, yes, she's clever. By the way, those pics you did on Ian Carmichael, very good.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Oh. If you'd like to finish reading it by next week's issue. Sorry, I'm late.
Oh, that's all right.
Here are the final pages.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yes? Just a moment. Doesn't matter which office you're in, they manage to track you down. What it is to be popular.
Who is it?
Oh, I don't know. Some secretary, she didn't say.
Joanne Minster speaking, yes? Oh, yes, I'll hold on. Some secretary, indeed. It's a call from above.
The great man on the top floor. You're honoured.
Hello, Sir Charles. Yes, indeed. Oh, the first day's sale. Wonderful. I'll get a pencil.
Hold your breath and pray for a miracle.
Yes. Fine. Good. Oh. Oh, I see. So, of course, that doesn't really give us a true picture of the situation, does it, Sir Charles?
For heaven's sake, what now?
Oh, I see. Well, if you think that's really necessary, of course it is your prerogative. Yes, Sir Charles. Very well.
Tell me, what did he say?
He's disappointed.
Disappointed? But 200,000 on the first day is ruddy marvellous.
Oh, of course. But financially speaking, we're not a going concern until we hit the $500,000 mark.
Oh, it makes me sick. Anybody in the business knows you can't judge a magazine on the first issue. It takes months to build.
Well, of course. Oh, Sir Charles wants to be fair. He's prepared to wait 6 weeks before passing judgment.
6 weeks? He's really stretching himself, isn't he? There's something else.
Yes, Harman Enterprises Incorporated held a top-level conference today, which may result in sweeping changes throughout their organizations.
Oh?
He's sending his accountant round tomorrow to explain things.
What the hell does that mean? Didn't he drop any hints?
No, but I get the impression it can only mean one thing. Trouble.